What's happening, geeks? Welcome to a very quick episode of Chris's Custom Collectibles, and today we're going to be customizing the DC Universe Armored Batman 6-inch figure I got a few days ago from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Now today has been a very shitty day. We have had a heat wave, we've then had torrential rain, we've then had a mini cyclone. It's all happened today, so whilst I was stuck indoors, I thought screw it, I'm going to customize this figure. The whole process took about an hour, guys, so there's not much to it. I used stuff I had around the house. I obviously didn't have to go out and buy things for it. With the exception of the cape, if you can't find any fabric around the house for the cape, then you do have to go to a fabric shop. But I was lucky enough to be throwing out some old grey pajama pants, and the fabric was perfect for the figure. So with that, let's get started. Careful, Batsy. Now guys, our first step with customizing this figure is removing the plastic cape, and you're just going to take a knife and cut around where the collar meets the actual cape. Make sure to be very careful to give a nice even cut. Now once you've done that, you want to lift the cape up and then remove and slice the back block that is inserted into the back of the figure, and then the cape should lift off by itself. And now we're ready to paint. Now the paint we're going to be using is a Model Masters Silver that has a nice hint of chrome in it. And we're not going to be painting the armor as a whole, we're just going to be dry brushing over it. That's right, guys. All we need to do is dry brush over this because the detail is there, the scratches, the intricate workings of the armor are there. We just need something that is going to make it pop and really stand out. Now as you can see already, I've only been dry brushing for a couple of seconds and that detail is starting to stand out already. So it's just all about subtlety, guys, to really make those details come alive. Now while it may look a little bit messy and uneven right now, don't worry, we're going to be neatening him up. Now our next step is to really fill in those scratches and bolts and whatnot, and we're going to be using black shoe polish for that. That's right, old mate shoe polish with some tissue, and you're just going to dab it on the brush and you're just going to go over very quickly all over the armor pieces, and you can grab that tissue and just wipe off the excess, and the remaining shoe polish will be embedded in all that detail. Now once that's done, I'm going to be filling in the areas where the exposed bat suit is actually going to be protruding through, and I'm just using a standard acrylic paint. It's just a flat grey, and that's pretty much in terms of that stage, guys. My next step is to go around the areas where black trim is required, and that's just a black enamel very carefully with a very fine brush. Now this is going to make it all neat and uniform and even. And there we go, the figure itself is pretty much complete. I did go over the belt and the fins and dry brush some gold back on them, and now it's time for the cape. That material you see there was originally my backdrop, and I cut it out, but it was too stiff. I was throwing out some pajama pants, and this is the material you see here from them. And as opposed to my backdrop material, the pajama material falls a lot easier, and it's gonna look a lot less cheesy. And I made sure the measurements were exact with the plastic cape from the original figure in terms of height, because you don't want this looking overdrawn and whatnot, and it measured up perfectly when I cut it out. Just make sure it lines up okay, and of course it does. Now our next step is to glue the cape in place, and you're just going to use some Loctite for that. Loctite's amazing, it just bonds instantly, so make sure you hit the mark perfectly, guys. And there we go, attached instantly. Now the second last step is to cut the ends of the cape to make it look frayed and weathered and distressed. Now the final stage was I actually sprayed some black spray paint on the cape, just spritzes here and there to make it look weathered. And here we go. So thanks very much for watching, guys. If you had any questions, anything you're unsure of, if I did skip over anything, please leave a comment below and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. As always, thank you very much for your continuing support and watching, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.